Hello again, everyone. It's me, Nick Michalak, and the amazing Steve Frazier.
Well, thank you. It's been a hot minute here.
We took an unintentional break here between commentaries, but
back in the saddle.
Oddly enough, we are recording this on the 5th anniversary of the release of our original commentary, which was A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Which is the best movie ever.
It's all been downhill from there.
That's right. That's right. No, dude, I guess we should take this opportunity to say thank you.
Yes,
right,
thank you extremely much. I mean, 5 years doesn't seem like it sometimes.
No, I remember recording that very first one 5 years ago today.
Yeah.
And, wow, what a ride.
Yeah. So, guys, obviously we are doing a commentary on the 2002 American version of The Ring. So if you have your own copy of it, turn on your subtitles to follow along with everything. And get your timestamp over to 0, and we'll sync up with the countdown to get going. So in 3, 2, 1, play.
How in the hell was this 19 years ago? I remember sitting in the movie theater. I remember which theater I was in. I remember where I was sitting. I remember who I was with. I have such a vivid memory of watching this the night that it came out. Maybe the night before. It might have been the night before, because in that era I was able to preview things.
Sure.
And look at that beautiful home.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved when they had the vegetation growing up the brick.
Yeah. Well, you have a certain taste for that.
I do. Nancy Thompson's house also had that. Recently sold for $3.5 million, by the way. I think this movie, as we open with these two hotties watching a video, this movie really was kind of the beginning, right, of the...
the flood of J-horror remakes in America.
Yeah.
Most of which I've heard not the best things about.
The Grudge was pretty good.
Okay. I bought that on DVD for about a minute. And then watched a couple minutes I'm not interested. I'll pass on it.
Interestingly, she's passing on the information here as if it's like folklore, almost.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And they have a featurette on this disc where they do kind of talk about urban legends, how it weaves into the story, stuff like that. So
I think
they're aware of it.
I think it's interesting just because it's such a localized story that it's already worked its way into, this
lexicon, vernacular, whatever you want to label it as.
Because she said that you had to rent it, which I guess could be a tale of telephone.
Sure.
The story gets amplified here.
Certain details get smudged around.
Right.
Yeah, it's Amber Tamblyn. She's barely aged today. She still looks fabulous.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. I forgot that she was even in this.
Yeah, I when I first popped it on, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a nice little surprise.
She's great.
So I guess this commentary kind of came about because I watched this not that long ago.
Yeah.
And when I saw it in the movie theater, very vividly, I remembered. I do think I watched it one other time on video with somebody.
Okay.
And shortly after it came out, so within the first 3-4 years. And I think, here's the old diversion, right?
Yeah. Fake out.
So, first of all, when they get home from school, don't they change out of their uniforms into pajamas? They're doing a goddamn sleepover. Put your pajamas on.
Yeah,
anyway,
sure.
If I'm at home, I'm in my pajamas.
Sure.
Anyway, so I remember thinking that it was just kind of okay. I felt like certain things didn't add up. Timeline was weird or something. There were details that didn't pan out. And so I just kind of poo-pooed it and left it on the shelf as, okay. And then, I don't know, within the last calendar year, I decided to give it a second shot or a third shot or whatever.
I think we were doing the commentary on the Chainsaw remake, and you kind of brought it up in terms of the stuff that was happening around the time with horror.
Oh, right, because this was a little bit before the boom of the remakes.
Yeah.
Although, in a way, it is a remake because it's a Japanese original.
Sure.
But not a remake to the U.S.
Not
audience.
the Platinum Dunes variety.
Right, exactly. And to the U.S. audience, this is a brand new story, myself
Yes,
included.
yes.
I'd never heard of it.
Right.
So, I give it a view, and I went, actually, that aged really well. I thought this was pretty good.
So yeah, I saw it in the theater. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was scary. When I rented it on DVD, I think I watched it on like a Saturday morning or something like that, which is like the complete wrong vibe and whatnot. But
Yeah.
like, I popped it on or whatnot because and it was like it didn't do anything for me, so I just left it. I didn't touch it until now.
It's yeah, I definitely think on the rewatch or whatever additional view, my most recent viewing, it nice espresso machine back there, and a KitchenAid too. I think my grandmother had those same glasses. It was a very common set of dishes back in the day. Yeah, something worked for me that didn't work before.
Okay. I will say that the Japanese original was free on streaming, so I sampled a little bit of it.
Okay.
Kind of
Recently?
today.
Oh, today. All right.
So I was like, watched the first bit of it. I kind of jumped around a little bit, jumped ahead in the story just to see a little bit of the thing. So a lot of it is like almost beat for beat.
Okay.
The same
So
thing.
did they use like the same script basically?
Kind of something. I mean, like, it's not like word for word or whatnot, but it's like the same story beats. Some of them, I'll have to double check as we go through this thing. They might have shuffled a few things around.
There's
not real any kind of like digital effects in it.
Well, okay.
This type of stuff and a few other things.
Well,
it's a little bit more lo-fi.
We had to show our dicks, and say, look at all we can do.
Sure. And also it's 3 years later, so technology is, at this time, CGI digital technology has rapidly evolved to a point where you can probably use a little bit more effectively or a little bit more economically in terms of budget.
Beautiful hardwood floors.
Huh?
I have hardwood floors in my brand new house, and they're beautiful, but I'm so used to carpet that I'm not personally used to the routine of cleaning hardwood floors, which is, oof. A little water. Because we were talking, I wasn't paying attention. Which of these two girls belong to this house? This one? This one lives in the house?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter. I just... And, all right.
Yeah, so in the Japanese version, the original version, let's say that, it's just like they don't even do that much of an effect. It's just like the entire screen goes inverse. Everything goes like black and white inverse. Everything goes...
Oh, okay.
So they just went as simple as possible to convey something. They don't even show you anything.
I don't mind that they show you. You just got a little cock tease of the well or whatever,
I'm just pointing out how one did it and the other one did it just for context. So,
in 2002, Naomi Watts is a 10.
Oh, well, yeah.
we already know everything there is to know about this relationship, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's great screenwriting right there.
The kind of interesting thing with the original version, the way they introduce her version of the character in the Japanese version is that she's already investigating the videotape legend.
Okay, so
Up front, that's her introduction scene, interviewing some people about it.
There's no familial connection in that?
No, there still is. They just choose, in that version, that's how they introduce it. This one, they're choosing to go with the familial connection first and then get into the investigative reporter thing later on in the story.
Yeah.
So they're choosing to...
I assume that this one is
bring
longer.
Something further up. Because at least this one, they're making the connection up front that her and the kid, and then the kid and Amber Tamblin's character, they're all related. So that's much more upfront in the film, talking more about the family ties about everything instead of more about the family ties, less about the legend up front. So
right.
Just shifted the other way.
Well, I feel like it also, this whole teacher thing,
it's very relatable.
It is relatable, and I think it also creates more. You care more about the boy in later on.
Yeah.
Because you've developed this.
Yeah.
This kind of backstory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Cute kid.
Yeah.
Great actor. Has he done anything else, is the question.
I think he was in the Chainsaw remake. He was the little kind of scrawny kid running around the farmhouse.
Yeah. He does look like that.
He's got that little almost
sunken face.
Yeah.
Does Naomi Watts take her boobs out in this one? Because I feel like she is naked.
That's a PG-13.
Oh, okay.
So negative.
So she's naked in every movie she's ever been in, I think, except this one.
They did say, well, I don't think it was anything nudity-wise, but I think they were intentionally cutting out more graphic stuff to make sure they got a PG-13 because that was their intention.
I tell you what, working in the cinema, there was a lot of discussion. Like, we knew that if it was PG-13, that Friday, Saturday night was going to be triple the business of a rated R. And it was like the entire middle school was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was nuts. If it was a 13 horror, like, every single parent just gave their kid a 20 and said, go hang out at the theater. It was insane. Yeah. If it was rated R, chances are it was a better movie, or, I guess, quote unquote, better for us.
Yeah.
But it didn't make nearly the money. This thing made like $300 million or something.
Something at least north of 200, maybe I've got it right here. 249 million.
250, all right. So.
She gets close to it here. But.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, we had like a decade of like PG-13 horror, and there was, instead of this film where it's like they're trying to craft it towards that, they don't think they really need to get gory and graphic with it, but they're still able to make it an effective film. Studios after this, a lot of things like, they shot it for an R, we're just going to slash it down to a PG-13, then we'll put the unrated version on the DVD to sell more copies later.
Right. That you actually get the best of both worlds then. You get your box office and your DVD sale.
Sometimes it didn't work out so hot for them.
But you're right. There is a very different approach in, do you write a PG-13 or do you write an R and cut it? Or back in the 80s, you would make a movie that was X and then cut it down to an R.
Yeah.
Cut it down to an R.
Right. Which translates to about a PG-13.
Right.
About 12, 13 years later. Like you cut out any nudity in Jason Takes Manhattan, it's a PG-13, and a soft one at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything in that movie is already cut.
Right. There's nothing to see.
I'm just thinking back to that previous scene. How interesting is it that the mom is like shouting at the kid and asking the kid where her dress is?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of relationship do these two really have?
But it does kind of show that there is a missing cog in their lives. There's not a husband, a father, or whatnot.
That's true. That's true.
That shows the interdependency on the two of them. They've lost something in the makeup of the family. It's probably his only line in the whole film, but he nailed that shit.
It's interesting.
It says everything.
Like, they didn't have to have exposition there.
No.
You just focus on the one guy looking somber.
Yeah.
You give her no makeup.
Oh, yeah.
The two adults in the room that are crying the most, those are the parents.
Right.
You couldn't find one case.
Well, it's early 2000s.
Well,
Not everything's on there.
You're
yet.
right. You're right.
We're still a ways off.
The internet's only been around for
5 years. Or
I was going to say 10 tops. Usable internet anyway.
Yeah.
Public internet.
Not AOL.
Oh yeah, dial up.
Oh Christ.
A lot of people still had dial up here in this.
Uh-huh.
So she is a journalist, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It seems like in this one they take a longer. Well, just in general, I felt it was a long time before I caught on to the fact that she is that.
Oh boy, look at that.
Yeah. Oh.
Interesting that they chose to show that as a flashback as opposed to in the moment.
I think that helps to kind of at least give a certain interval to the amount of horror you're injecting into the film.
Yep. Okay.
So everything in the first 5 minutes and
then you need a break.
15 minutes or something like that.
Right.
There's nothing. So it's a nice strategic use of that.
It also kind of creates anticipation because you don't know what happened,
Right.
and so you're kind of in the same boat as the characters, right?
Oh yeah, to a degree.
You're going along the journey with
Right,
them,
right.
Because you see her react, and then you don't see anything happen to her, and then you just see that she's dead.
Yeah.
So.
Nice subtle acting all around here. You don't have to oversell emotion.
So here's the reveal that, well, they're claiming suicide, but
Yeah, he's got a little bit more insight or some sort.
kids in suits are kind of creepy. They're adorable, but they're also kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Are we to believe here that he's having some sort of clairvoyant or psychic connection to this?
It's very...
How does he know
Yeah.
to go to this spot? You know what I mean?
I mean, he was telling the mother about certain things that the girl told her. The girl told him about
The video
or some other weird stuff that happened regarding that. But there's obviously, he has this entire connection with the girl in the tape about this ghost or whatnot. So,
right.
So it kind of, it's a lot of...
Maybe that was...
We don't have any direct connection, why is he the one connected to the whole thing?
Okay.
Why is it attached to him in a certain way? So So it's more ambiguous about these connections in a way.
Maybe that was part of the disconnect that I had when I watched it originally. I love it, L Train.
And this was all shot in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, it said Seattle.
Seattle, Washington State, everything, yeah. Maybe a little Oregon, maybe. It's like, I saw the L trains, like, that doesn't look like anyone I've seen.
Yeah, it's definitely more monorail-ish.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day when you used to have like a disposable camera and you had to wait to get your photos developed? That's creepy.
Yeah.
And I guess they did have to set her up as a journalist, otherwise it would really make no sense why she'd just start. I mean, the familial connection, fine,
It'd be a lot more of a strain type of thing that
Right.
you suddenly become Lois Lane in this situation.
He's sharpening a pencil? I feel like I've seen that guy before.
Yeah, he's probably been around. There we go.
And so all four of them died?
At the exact same time.
I guess that means we gotta go out there and take a look.
You gotta go look.
Beautiful scenery.
Oh, yeah.
And this was directed by Gore Verbinski,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Who went on to do Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other things, but that's the first thing I thought of. Oh wait,
Yeah,
he did that Rango movie, right? The kids movie. I think he won an Oscar for
He
it.
might have done that. I know he did Lone Ranger, which freaking bombed like a freaking lead balloon.
Oof. I'm fairly certain that he did Rango. It was a kids movie, and I think he won an Oscar for it.
Yes, he did.
Well, look at me remembering things.
Yes, sir.
I do love the failed magician gimmick.
The amateur musician.
Yeah, that it never gets old to me.
It's like how they think to the master. Think they're fucking Copperfield.
Oh, right.
Ain't no Copperfield.
And well, no, nobody is.
Terror Train reference again.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Terror Train,
Please.
was that 2 years ago that we did that?
Well, they're about.
It was a New Year's Eve.
The man is made of magic.
Like, how did the tape end up here?
Right.
Although I guess the whole well thing happens here, right?
Yeah. So.
What a shithole, huh? What a beautiful iconic image that tree is.
Yeah, very specific.
Like, this film, has anybody ever done a filming locations video on this, I wonder?
Not that I'm aware of.
Because this is probably a set, but that cabin, the lodge, you know, that's...
Yeah, real deal.
Like, I bet that's a really, you know, popular... If you the people that know where it is, it's probably a very popular tourist destination. All right, so we're 25 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
Well into Act 2 already. Mm-hmm. The ring!
There it is.
The titular ring.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody water. All these pieces connect later on, which is great.
Yes.
Maybe it was because I didn't know how the tape came to be.
That doesn't get quite as explained in the film, but I did some research on it that I'll get into later on.
Okay.
Once
Ugh.
pieces develop a little further.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
All of it is ew. Oh, gross.
Yeah. And the tape is longer in this version than it is in the original.
Well, yeah, they probably said, oh, yeah, let's just throw any sort of creepy shit.
Let's get creepier with it. A little more elaborate.
That, I do like
to turn over the shoulder.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's projecting out of the screen at you.
Exactly. That looks like an old 90s screensaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, Naomi, we're thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? What did I just watch?
And so, as one of the characters will say later on, it's like someone's student art film.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. There's a game of probe.
No, right there. Right back to Freddy's Revenge.
You did it now. You did it now.
Mm-hmm.
7 days. And now we're doing this title card like in 7 or something, you know?
Yeah, it is kind of like that. I mean, they do it in the original version as well.
It makes sense, though, because it unlike other movies that I've seen that were supposed to take place over a period of time where you had no idea where in the timeline
Yeah, is it days, is it weeks, what's going on?
Right, exactly.
And it's interesting, it's like...
Frazier, Seinfeld.
Well, Frazier, Seattle anyway, so...
Right. Seinfeld's still making that syndication money.
Oh, hell yeah. And they're making Netflix money. But it's interesting to note that the original version runs 20 minutes shorter than this one.
Well, right, because you had to have all that exposition at the beginning about the family and the...
In a way, I mean, it's like I said, they do kind of rejigger some elements here and there. I mean, it's still all the same beats. They're just kind of moved around and kind of reorganized in this version a little bit.
The original selfie. This is the ex-husband? Or
Yeah.
Aiden's dad?
Yeah.
It's a very strange concept. It's certainly nothing like this, I don't think, had ever been done before. The whole idea of, you play the videotape and then you die.
Sure.
I think it's interesting.
It wouldn't work if it was a DVD. You couldn't. It just doesn't have the same feel to it in a certain way.
No, it doesn't.
There's just something inherent about the analog format to a certain degree.
The white noise.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen on a DVD.
Yeah, it's just something inherent about the quality of it, and just like some weird videotape. Is this a snuff film? Is it some weird thing from some God knows who made this?
Right.
It's just something.
Ron Popeil on the TV. Set it and forget it. R.I.P. Ron Popeil.
No. But there's so many weird odd, because of all the stuff that happened with videotapes and everything like that. All these weird niche companies and all these things, like all these urban legends, like there's some kind of weird fucking tape out there. It just seems so ingrained in the culture.
Absolutely. I mean, tape trading in the dark web, or not the dark web, but the conventions.
Black market, yeah.
Like, tape trading was a thing.
Yeah.
You go to conventions. As a Kiss fan, I went to Kiss conventions,
sure.
And there were tables that had piles and piles and piles of bootleg concert footage.
And probably Kiss meets the Phantom of the
Right,
Park,
exactly.
which they don't want to acknowledge.
Right, it's like it's the same, like a redub of a redub
right,
of a redub.
From airing on some other fucking station maybe sometime.
So it's interesting that this is kind of channeling that inner 80s kid,
Yeah.
like the audience that's going to see this in 2002, it's going to speak to them differently than somebody watching it today.
Right. In 2002, the writing is on the wall for VHS. It's about to die out.
It's done. So he did get the phone call, right?
Right.
Okay.
Now, in the original version, obviously I didn't watch the whole thing. There might be some other reveal later on, but they don't show that the husband gets a phone call. At least in the parts that I saw at the beginning of the film, he says she goes out on the balcony, he watches the tape, brings her back in, there's no phone call. So I don't know if that's a fact that they reveal later on, that he lied about it, or if there's other hook to it.
Right, there might just be a did he or didn't he,
right?
Anticipation or whatever.
And it's kind of a night and day difference in terms of how they portray the broken up couple, because in the original it's a lot. It's here they're playing it a little kind of light. It doesn't feel like there's kind of an animosity. It just feels like there's an amicable breakup of some kind. There's not a lot of drama here.
Right.
The other one, it feels like it's like a standard, almost like a Kramer versus Kramer type of thing, or what the heck you want to do about it. That there was some kind of breakup. There's a much more somber atmosphere between them. They've got a lot more argumentative moments and stuff like that, and they're kind of in that one. They're kind of like working on it together. She doesn't go off and do it herself, and he goes off and disappears for certain lengths of time. It feels more like they're kind of researching at the same time. So
I guess that would make a difference.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're portraying the couple as having a certain level of conflict, that works for the story to have them kind of in on it together, and you can work that dynamic more. If they're a lot more friendly here and stuff like that, it doesn't create as much energy for the narrative.
I think this is really cool.
Yeah.
It's just another one of those what the hell.
Right.
Like, what's going on here?
Right.
The stickers that say copy.
Yeah.
What an 80s problem that was.
Yeah.
Now, in the original one, did you notice that he was like this videotape guru?
Well, from what I was watching, they don't have him like in any kind of studio apartment with a bunch of gear or anything, but it seems to be implied that he does have that sort of skill set.
Gotcha.
And he's a teacher. He's like a professor or something like that at a university, so...
How interesting is this whole tracking thing?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen with DVDs either.
Oh, no. Don't be fussing around with the stupid crap. It breaks easy.
Uh-oh. The mistress is in. Assistant. There were no air quotes there. Oh, there were air quotes on
Partner
the partner in crime, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Right there.
Video hoax.
It was one of those interesting things watching the featurettes that were made at the time. Because he's a fine actor. There's Martin Henderson here, but they're kind of talking about like they thought he's going to be the next big guy.
Really?
Like the big guy. Or that was the feeling that they're kind of hyping it around. It's like
he's going to be Matthew McConaughey?
He's been maybe something like that. I don't know. But he's a steady working actor. Look at his filmography, but he didn't do anything big or anything like that. I mean, it looks a lot like a Scott Speedman from Strangers, too.
Sure.
It's kind of that 2000s kind of leading man look in a certain way.
They really did look the same.
Yeah. But it's kind of a flip side, because the guy who plays the husband in the original version is Hiroyuki Sanada, who is a phenomenal actor. I've seen him in a couple things, and he is just incredible. He's going to be in the next John Wick movie, too, so he's going to just kick all kinds of ass.
Just like in the video.
And you walked under it, now it's bad luck.
Oh, yeah, you're screwed.
You're all screwed.
Everybody's screwed.
I had to climb and do a swanton off of it.
Right.
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, absolutely. They're really moving along at a good clip.
Good
clip here.
Once it gets going, it picks up, yeah.
As far as the days go, I think, you got to get to 7, make it interesting.
Yes.
So there's an interesting,
Yeah.
There's a lot of imagery that is deceptive.
Yeah. It was like, I was like taking a lot of note of the cinematography, and I had to look up the cinematographer, and I've seen a couple things he's done. He does fantastic work. Bojan, I think it's Bojan Bazelli. He shot King of New York.
I do love the game show that was on there. I can't think of. Go ahead, sorry.
But he shot King of New York for Abel Ferrara. He shot also Ferrara's Body Snatchers movie, and he also shot the film Underwater. I saw at the theater last year. Had Kristen Stewart in it. I thought the film looked fantastic, and he's a great cinematographer.
And this is the girl that was with Amber Tamlin when she died?
Right.
I always get eyebrow raised in these kind of movies where the journalist, a seemingly passerby journalist,
Sure.
Does way more work than any police around. Like,
There's ain't not a goddamn cop in this movie.
There's not
anywhere.
one cop in the whole
There's not
movie.
a detective. No one. They just come across a body and give it to the coroner and just sign off and forget about it.
Like, I feel like there were no questions asked by anybody other than Naomi Watts.
Yeah. You got Jake Klugman in here, Quincy M.E.
Oh my God, Klugman. Or Columbo, or somebody.
But Columbo would not let this thing go, man.
No, it'd be just one more thing. God, I love
thing.
Columbo, Peter Falk, and his glass eye.
Attitude.
Yeah, she's got a. That was a great, like, nerdy tech girl vibe.
It's like, I want to be involved. What's going on here?
Right. They're making this look very easy, actually.
Even with commercial grade stuff, you're still dealing with technically like a consumer videotape. It's like,
Right. Like that, there's no way that lighthouse was actually in the, you know what I mean?
Right, it's a little...
Like she just kept going and going and going. Tracking doesn't work like that.
Nah. Sit that close, you're ruining your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
And it's still moving. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she's able to pick it off the screen. And this is... We're 42 minutes, so we're not quite to the midpoint.
A little short of it, yeah.
But, and there's not a plot point here that, you know, really pivots, you know. We'll find out if there is when we get to the mid, if there's something.
Yeah, so hour 55.
So
should be about another 7-8 minutes. Somewhere in the next 10 minutes.
Where was I? What was I going to say? The I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. Something about midpoints, but
Sure.
that's fine. Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Sure.
Sometimes a midpoint can be a timeline midpoint where,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
In the middle
Like,
of the week.
In the middle of the
that
week.
We're
Like,
having here.
right, exactly. But they're not doing it at even increments. So we're at day 4, which is past the midpoint,
Sure.
and we're not to the midpoint of the movie. So,
Yeah, it would be like right in the middle of this day then.
Right.
Day 3.5.
right. So, I don't know if that actually lines up. Sometimes it's a distance midpoint. If you have to drive from Chicago to New York, you know, the midpoint of the
Right.
movie is when you get to Pennsylvania.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, there's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It does feel like we're creeping up on that.
I'm so used to a midpoint being like a story device, though.
Right.
Like a pivot in the story or a development or
Yeah.
a revelation.
Yeah.
Which this is going
Yeah.
like full bore
Yeah.
investigative. So
And this stuff was really hooking me in the films. Just like the investigative momentum was very intriguing to me.
agreed. I think you know, I love documents and photos and charts and
Oh, yeah,
maps
yeah.
and this kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh.
Good Christ. Look at this room. That was one of the images in the video, was the dead horse on the beach. Yep, they just
Yeah.
flashed it. All right, we got dead horses.
Mm-hmm.
We know who the woman is.
Yes.
There's still no cops.
No, just in the photographs.
Breeder's suicide. Oh, that would have been her.
Yes.
Anna Morgan, sure. Only 44? Shit! She's really uncovering a lot of facts in one day.
Right.
Now that's an interesting development there.
Yes.
So, I don't know, we're 46 minutes,
Yeah.
give or take.
A little short of that. We had a prolonged intro on this.
Well,
so.
yeah, but still,
So.
I go 45 minutes, whatever.
Well, 45. 30.
45 and a half. So we're still not timeline-wise at the actual midpoint.
No, we're
5 to 10
a bit
minutes out.
further. A bit further to go.
And there's the distorted face on
Yeah.
him. That's cool. Great. I love that little gimmick.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that that distorted face is really kind of a phenomenon of videotape. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So what a good kid. At least we didn't have a what was in Child's Play? Was it Aunt Becky that was a real
Maggie.
bitch? Maggie that was a real bitch.
And Maggie was a real bitch.
Got what she deserved. At least we didn't have that situation.
Oh.
Has he got little dinos and jeeps on his
Yeah.
PJs there? He's got dinos everywhere. Yep, we definitely had those glasses as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go.
That happens to me like every other day.
Oh.
And the hair, oh my God.
That doesn't happen every other day.
That, well,
Depends on how you sleep sometimes.
for me it does, but maybe not like this, though.
Yeah.
There is something super creepy about the, oh God, the,
Yeah.
it
It was just the hair is one thing.
Yeah.
Then there's some other weird crap on there.
right, which looked like one of those patches for,
for
medical
yeah,
exam
yeah.
of some kind. Interesting, though, that the water made her gag.
Mm-hmm.
You know, knowing the end game here with the well.
Right.
Um,
All little pieces of the whole.
oh, right, exactly. This is really one of those movies that gets way better on a second or third view.
Yeah, you can see how they reverse engineered all the little pieces. Holy
What the fuck is this? It was just a dream.
Mm.
But what a dream. And she got a little Nancy Thompson in
Yeah,
it.
she brought something out of her dream.
A lot.
Literally, Nancy wakes up, she's got the claws right on her forearm.
Well, no, that wasn't until the second scene.
Okay.
When she wakes up in the classroom, the spot is there.
I was thinking about in the sleep freaking
I got
center
you.
where
I
the
got
case
you.
is.
The
And she brings the hat out.
Kacha Institute.
No, the Gotcha Institute of Sleep. Oh, boy.
Oh, shit. He already watched it. Well, that's definitely the video I would choose
Yeah.
if I couldn't sleep.
So you got no Looney Tunes or something around here? Come on.
Looney Tunes.
Bash his volume better.
Leave him
We're
alone.
gonna get screwed.
She has an accent, right? Like she's from somewhere?
I have no idea.
No?
Give me 2 seconds.
Because I want to say, I thought she did, and I thought that it came out just
She
there.
is British.
Yeah. It came out a little bit right there.
Oh.
Leave him alone!
I was watching this the other day, and the sound mix on this thing felt very, very soft. I had to keep pumping it up and futzing around with it.
Is this the first reveal that guy is actually the dad? I think it is.
That's the first time they've specifically stated it.
Hey, what a great midpoint.
Well, that
50,
works.
50 minutes.
That works with the kid watching it and find out that
Yeah.
that works.
That lines up.
That works. That enhances the peril.
Right. Yes. Good midpoint. See? This is the kind of insight that we bring you on these programs.
Yes.
And it was right at like 50 minutes, which is, almost exact.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but close. Oh dear. Poor dad. Interesting that the kid called her Rachel earlier, too.
Right. This kid is very peculiar. It feels like he's already been through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
He's one of these kids like he's super mature for his age, because some trauma happened like 3-4 years ago. That's what it feels like.
It's interesting that all of the child actors that, I feel like they all kind of had that same quality. Miko Hughes, Macaulay Culkin.
Miko, who was cute as a freaking...
Right, I know. But he also had that look, of
Right.
wise beyond his years.
But he still, when we saw him in,
There's
Pet
a dead horse.
Sematary, obviously, but New Nightmare, he still felt like a kid.
Right.
This kid feels like he just feels like he's had something already happen in his background that's forced him to grow up like an extra 10 years past where he is.
Well, what's the kid from Nightmare 5? Would be something.
Nightmare 5?
Isn't
Whit
it?
Hertford?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he's got that. Yeah.
He's the same way.
Yeah, he's got that same look.
Yeah.
I was going to bring him up earlier. Karen Bischoff.
No relation. I love those old bridges.
Oh, yeah.
They're so cool. I really would like to go to the Pacific Northwest and vacation for a while. this part of the story is really very exposition heavy.
Sure.
They're doing an okay job of keeping the mystery alive.
Mystery alive, and also maintaining a certain emotional investment about what's happening.
Yeah, because there's like this thing about the dead horses you don't understand.
Yeah.
The suicide you don't understand. The mental institution.
Right.
Like there's a lot of pieces that are still
need more threads.
Right.
Them.
They're floating around out there, but at the same time, they're just kind of like, she knows more about the story than anybody. So
right.
You have to use these moments of her telling other people what she's learned,
right,
in order for us to learn them too.
Right.
And there's not really a better way to go about it other than us watching her learn it, which is boring.
Right.
And time-consuming.
Right.
What a great shot. Look at this thing. Are we approaching my favorite part of the whole movie right now?
Maybe.
Ouch. That looks like it hurts. Anna Morgan had a daughter? Dun dun dun.
Ouch.
It's good makeup, though.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being one of the very few, if not the only person, in the movie theater that actually laughed out loud at this next part.
Oh, okay.
Because to me, it was just the craziest goddamn thing I'd ever seen. And so she's been like touched by the evil, so now it's able to be seen by the animals. Is that the idea?
Yeah, that's a common idea in certain like supernatural
See, if I had
stories in a certain way. Animals and kids usually kind of work on a different wavelength. They can see and sense different paranormal things happening.
If I had my vocal cords, I would do my Dr. Loomis impression of from part 5 when the kid was psychically imprinting the dog. Right.
Look at what you do just right.
Oh, this poor horse. What a great scene, this horse running around this ferry.
Oh, hell.
Like, how cool is this? That's a real horse, folks.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a CGI horse.
I know CGI horses here, man.
Those are real cars. This is some real cowboy shit about to happen. Or they're trying to make happen. That is one bucking bronco.
Oh, hell. He's... Oh.
And, I mean, look out. This is scary as hell.
Oh, fuck, hell yeah.
And the horse just goes... That's the funniest damn thing I've ever seen. I mean, the horse, struggling at the bottom and dying, that's very sad. But, But the image of
the trip and fall over the ledge is a little...
It's awesome.
Feels like it should be on a Nick Cage movie somewhere. On The Wicker Man or something.
Oh, The Wicker Man's one that was way better as a remake. And there's the horse hitting the fan. The shit at the fan, so to speak.
Yeah.
And there's your thread on the bloody water.
Yes.
And you can't just walk into any doctor's office and be like, Nice little tactic. Remember back in the day when you could just break into a place and there were no cameras or alarms or anything?
No, nothing.
There's an old iron lung there on the left. Look at that.
Lung.
That's kind of cool. I still think that fly coming out of the video is so cool.
Freaky.
That's what a great little thing that makes you go, I don't know what's going on, but I'm terrified.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's so much of that in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Which, in a way, is very frustrating, but also very satisfying in that there's an atmosphere that's created, and you don't necessarily know what's going on, but you know how you feel, and that really is like a compliment to the screenwriters and the filmmakers.
Yeah.
That they've created atmosphere and, built this anticipation.
An intriguing narrative where it feels... Intriguing narrative where you do get this serious sense that the pieces are coming together. They're not just throwing random crap at you just to creep you out.
Right, because...
And it doesn't lead anywhere. You do have a sensibility of how the story is unfolding. Pieces of a narrative are getting pulled together from what she's researching, so you feel like you're getting somewhere.
Right, and like the ladder was the first one, and you're like, oh, well, that's coincidence.
Yeah.
And then you come across something else, and then a little other thing here, and then a little
few
thing.
Repeating motifs. It all starts to okay, you can kind of dismiss one thing, but once you get 2, 3, or 4 of them, it's a pattern, and you know it's coming together.
Right. I don't remember that scene in the video, but
I do.
I do like that they're having
matching the angles and everything.
Yes, the callbacks to the video are different than I would say the callback to the dead girl in the closet. You know what I mean? Just because that one felt like here's how we have to present you with new information.
Right.
And this is like, hey, just in case you forgot.
Right. And it makes sense that she's gone through it enough times. These images are burned into her head.
Right.
If anything's going to be remembered implicitly, it's going to be that every single image from that tape.
And here we have the incomparable Brian Cox.
Love him.
I know he was in Manhunter, your favorite movie.
Hannibal Lecter.
The original Hannibal Lecter.
Mm-hmm. Man, at this time he was getting so much great work. I mean, he was in this. He was in the Bourne films. He was in had a great turn in Super Troopers. So
and 20 years later,
he was in X-Men 2. I mean, he was getting a lot of really solid roles at this point. And
today, he's one of the top billed stars on the HBO show Succession, which is as we record this, it's the current, most recent Best Drama winner.
Okay.
So, and it's amazing. He's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The whole show is amazing.
I mean,
I recommend Succession if you've not seen it on HBO. Please sponsor us, HBO.
We'll take it. Oh. Ah, shit.
How crazy would that be to be in the you've got a recurring dream or a video. It would almost be like a filming locations video. Where we go and visit a set of something.
Yeah. So,
he is so good.
Oh. It's like, if you're going to be in a scene with Brian Cox, you need to be in the most A game you've ever been on.
Right. And you know, he's a guy. Look at all this torment that he's portraying.
Yeah. That he's tried to bury himself in this desolate farm.
His work, yeah.
Right. And one person shows up and stirs it up again, and it's all downhill from here.
I Don't Have a Daughter is a very interesting take. He's so intimidating.
Oh, yeah.
I really do enjoy this movie more every time I watch it. Oh, now she'll probably look up and see him looking out the window, yeah?
No.
Oh, no. I was just guessing.
Like, you don't have a swing in the yard if you don't have a kid.
That's a good point.
And
there's a swing in the yard. And her kid psychically drew the exact same house.
mm-hmm.
Do you remember back in about 2003, give or take, when the Samara costume was like the most popular Halloween?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like every girl dressed up as, put on pajamas and draped their long black hair over their head, and that was like, oh, I'm Samara. It was awesome.
You just changed the wig next year and your cousin It for the Addams Family.
That's right. That's a lot of dead babies.
Uh-huh.
Like, what are we looking at here, you know?
Yeah.
There's so much to process.
Mm-hmm. But
And at this point, that's awesome.
yeah.
As he's drawing,
Yeah.
I guess, the well, right?
Yeah. What was the point of him just being
Like a savant, almost?
savant, or
Like-
just like near driven crazy by it? It's not showing that he's crazy, but it's just like a compulsive fixation.
So here it's, I don't know, like, you're right. There was never a connection to say why he got to be the, you know, conduit.
Receiver or
the
something,
conduit, yeah. Like, the kid's talking like he's 38 years old.
Right. I mean, he's definitely showing the haunted thing here. That's a great bit.
It's a good, yeah. Remember,
This shit in nature's not going right.
if you got one of those balls on a, you know, those, the thing that the kid was playing with there,
Sure.
with the, like, you know, you're in a doctor's office. That
Right.
that thing.
Yeah,
Every doctor's office when we were a kid had that.
absolutely. for the adults is about like that issue of Time magazine is about 6 months old.
Yeah.
It's like nothing's up to date. Same magazines that were here the last time you showed up.
Yeah, I think you need to see a different kind of doctor. They've done a good job of making Naomi Watts kind of feel like she's going crazy as the story progresses. Like she's not getting stronger in her conviction that, you know, she's doing her journalistic duty.
Right.
She's questioning, like she's going the other way.
Right.
Which is an interesting take.
Right.
You know, I would say most people would just be like, you know, straightforward journalist.
Yeah.
I'm learning things, I'm going after whatever.
Right.
But the more she uncovers, the more she questions her own sanity, which is an interesting twist. I don't think you're allowed to tell her that, ma'am. I do find it interesting that that she's just willing to tell her every detail. You know, like as a doctor, I don't buy it.
Well, as she
But
goes
that's
through
all
the
right.
story, as she gets to the end of the story here, I think it makes sense.
That's a good line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
That's another great line.
instead of having Naomi Watts' character go around the whole town and start asking questions and stirring crap up, she just lays it out to her. This is what happened. This is where she went. Everything's been fine since then.
Yeah.
So
I still think it's illegal, but... you know.
Right. I'm not debating that, but at least her motivation for expositing that information makes sense on that basis.
Right.
As an early guy, I like him. Yeah, this guy's good. He's got some personality to him. I like him.
Personality goes a long way.
Mm-hmm. He walks in. No, I'm Richard Morgan. I'm Brian Cox. Like, even keep yourself. He's going on like, what's your secret? Stuff like that. It's like you should be like fucking 55 years old right now.
Takes a lot of balls to just walk into somebody's house.
Well, Especially when the guy was walking around with a hook earlier.
Right, that was a scary hook. That was like one of those hay hooks, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know what the word is for that, but hay hooks sound good.
Oh.
There's got to be a name. Drop in the comments if you know what that is. Hay hook.
Nice shot again.
And the guy was right. There's no camera.
Yeah, so they...
Straight on shot. You can't see the camera. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Again, another dot connected.
Yeah. I really like the structure on this whole thing when they get the parallel storylines between the two X's. One of them learns out something, then the next scene, when you switch over to the next one, they get the next step forward, or they're brought almost like right up to the same level of it.
Yeah,
she finds out about the daughter, then the next thing is he finds out the miscarriages and the births and stuff like that. He's in the place at the archives looking for the tape. It's gone, and then you find it here.
Yeah, it's a nice back and forth. It's like
pushing this one forward, then you push that one forward, back and forth.
And it makes you, as the viewer, kind of think, like, oh, if only they were together and they were
knew exactly what they were
right,
doing.
Right.
And it's a good setup payoff type of thing. It's very balanced.
Is there an American that's credited with this screenplay, or is it based on? Do they just say based on characters created by kind of thing?
Well, I was just about to double check something on that because the credited writer is Aaron Kruger, which we've talked about before because he wrote Scream 3.
Okay.
But there is as it says on Wikipedia here, he wrote 3 drafts of the screenplay before Scott Frank came out and did uncredited rewrites. So, but in the film, they don't credit the screenwriters or screenwriters from the original film from Japan.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, and the Japanese version was based on a book, which I don't think they credit here as well. But we'll have to double check that at the end.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to... Yeah, so Scott Frank, he worked on Out of Sight. He did Logan. He worked with James Mangold a couple times. He... bring out his stuff.
You know what we haven't had in a while is we haven't had a title card to tell us what day it is. Now
Well,
I realize
it's been a very long day.
I realize that it's been a long day.
Yeah.
But again, that kind of inconsistency kind of drives me nuts.
Yeah.
The first ones went by so fast, and now half an hour is taken up in one day.
Right. But in terms of Scott Frank, he wrote Get Shorty,
Okay.
Heaven's Prisoners, and he wrote Logan, The Wolverine. I love this film. Liam Neeson film, Walk Among the Tombstones. He wrote and directed that. So, I mean, if he's the credit for mainly what we see on screen here in terms of how the adaptation worked, he's a fantastic screenwriter. But
Creepy.
Having that shot of just Cox standing in the background is creepy as fuck, man.
And this is a good setup, too, to make you think that,
But I was talking over the thing I was going to mention something about, because they're showing all the kind of, like, transparencies or film negative type things on there.
Yep.
Apparently, what it's supposed to be, I don't think they quite nail it down as much, that there's a certain... In Japan, it's called nensha. It's thoughtography, where... It's a belief that someone's psychic abilities can project and burn an image into something tangible.
Okay.
Like a film, negative, or videotape.
Which would explain a whole lot if...
And it's supposed to be that more or less Samara is able to do this and projects these images into other people's heads. So I think it's supposed to be that why the mother goes and says she has hallucinations. It's because the daughter's
been projecting them, right? Which
why Adrian is seeing all this stuff is probably connected to that as well. But I don't think I had to do that through research. I didn't quite find that pinned down anywhere. Because in that videotape footage of the session there, they don't even get to a point of it. They're just little pieces that kind of connect towards the end of the film, but they don't really nail down that sort of psychotherapy idea in any way.
That really does make everything more, explained.
Yeah. I mean, now that I've looked that up and found it and stuff like that, I can see the little pieces, but I don't think they really get to anywhere they get explicit about that. So I think that's a lost cog in the story.
It is, and maybe that's another thing that had they just it's almost like in The Exorcist where they cut out those 7 minutes or whatever, and when you put them back in, everything makes more sense.
Right.
And you're like, why? How could they have cut that?
Right.
So, the fact had they just spent one line of dialogue explaining that, you would have been able to put all the pieces together that Samara made the videotape with her mind.
Yeah.
And is now imprinting in Aiden and everybody, you know what I mean? It all makes sense. There's your ladder.
Yes.
The real ladder. The first one was a red herring. Like communism.
Communism, yes, very much so. Man, I just flipped on YouTube, and in my recommendations, there was someone doing a Skype interview with Curry, man. Ooh.
A recent one?
Like a couple months ago.
No. He does not look good.
No.
He's not doing well.
He looked like he had a stroke, right?
He had at least one, if not multiple.
Yeah, you could tell.
How creepy is this? This is like the greatest thing ever.
Oh.
This is one of the scenes that really sticks out to me in my memory from watching it originally. Yeah. Just this idea that she was banished to the barn and had this super old-timey kids' room tucked away in the barn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking, it's so creepy.
And if they want to, just take the ladder out and she can't go anywhere.
Exactly. Which is the ladder falling over.
Right.
What year do you think that TV was made?
Ooh. Maybe somewhere in the 70s.
I was going to say top of the line, 1979.
Probably. The rabbit ears, the wire antenna.
I can't even tell what brand it is.
No,
But look at how high up it is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's probably a good 50 feet, if not more.
Ew.
At first it looks like blood, then it turns out to be burnt wood.
Which could be explained by her burning it with her mind.
Yeah, and burning into her forearm.
All of that makes so much more sense now. Damn it.
Yeah.
What a squandered opportunity. And you said this is an actual phenomenon in Japan, that they believe this can happen?
That's what Wikipedia says, that they have their own name for it, Nensha.
Don't fall off. Take too many steps backwards.
That'd be abrupt end to the film.
The burning tree.
I mean, it was like a Final Destination with you can't die until the seventh movie. If you fall over, topple over a 50-foot
That's right.
ledge, you'll be fine.
Now, if somebody had thrown her off the ledge, thrown her off,
You get a window in there somewhere.
If she'd have jumped, she'd have been fine.
We got rules here.
Closed till further notice. Did you see?
Yes. They didn't do much to enforce that, did they? Put a gate up or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Just Stroll in.
Right. Anybody's welcome.
Yeah, just whatever.
Don't mind the sign.
Yeah, who cares? They just slapped a sign on it. Doesn't matter.
There's
board
Probe.
games. Got a
Yeah.
headache.
Probe. Probe is a...
No.
There's a puzzle.
I don't know what the hell that was. Now we're not going to get another wide shot, are we? Damn it.
All we want is some damn art direction here.
We haven't talked no art direction.
A little bit.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
They tore the wallpaper down, so...
This is the last day
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah. I think he's a day behind.
I always thought this was a little
yeah.
convenient.
It's a little.
It's a little convenient.
Yeah. I'll give this one to Aaron Kruger instead. The lesser Scream.
Right, exactly.
Scream 3 guy, Transformers Michael Bay guy. I'll give it to him.
Get the axe.
Yes. Go at like Wilford Brimley in The Thing, man. Just right at it. I kill you.
Diabetes.
You want to be us? Bless you, Wilford Brimley.
R.I.P. Now, nothing says... I don't know, like, let's just go destroy property.
Destroy.
I mean, what a great...
They put the sign up saying it's closed to further notice, so you have this loophole. It's like no one's going to come around looking at.
That's right. That's exactly why they did
no one
that.
come checking in on you.
How awesome is this? This art direction of the well under the cabin.
Yeah.
And we've seen the well, in the videos.
Yeah.
There's a Sony TV. You and I both own Sony TVs.
Yes.
Top of the line. I don't still quite get the water thing, but that's fine.
Well, because she drowned.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. Why the screws are coming up beats me.
This is very like The Fog. Some of that kind of stuff is like, well, let's just put some imagery in that looks cool without explanation. And the fly.
Oh, bugs. Yeah.
Which one of us is going in? Ugh. Oh, God. Gag.
Oh, okay, so that's why. Yeah.
Gag me now. Oh, shit.
Holy I don't know.
She'd be dead.
Yeah, no.
She'd be dead. If she'd have jumped herself, she'd be fine, but... I don't know.
Almost broke her back going over that thing.
Right, it went over... Yeah, she went ass over tea kettle like the horses.
Yeah.
And look at how crystal clear this water is after being sitting there for...
Ages.
Yeah. And also, this well is now 9 feet wide in diameter. If you look at it. Look at how wide this thing is down here. There you get a shot of her eraser nipples there.
Yeah.
She's got the most giant nipples of all time. Like, it's unbelievable. I've never seen a woman with bigger nipples.
You'll have to find one of these films.
Rent 21 grams.
Okay.
I think it. I know she's in it. Maybe Sean Penn. I don't remember. 21 grams.
Okay.
Great movie. She's got her nips out for quite a bit of it. They're like an inch thick. I don't know.
So, scratching and everything like that against the stone.
Fingernails and. Don't those decay over time? Maybe not. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Maybe not. There's some Three Stooges shit.
Like the TV still glitching. That's a good.
Yeah, it's nice.
Good added bit.
How far away is he from this well? I mean,
That's a long way to go with a hose, man.
who thought that was a good idea? Oh my God. Ugh.
Hello.
I mean, the body be like completely decomposed,
Well, it's more.
bloated, and
It's a great shot altogether, man. That'd be great.
yeah, awesome. Did this girl ever go on to be anything else?
I haven't the faintest knowledge. Let's see what I can find.
And how great is this? Like, the mother's torment of, I need to get rid of this, you know. And we decided that Samara was adopted, right?
That's what they told us,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Because of the miscarriages. So the mom kills her and dumps her in the well.
Yes.
Amazing. So simple. And the last image she sees is the ring.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, she was actually in Donnie Darko as Gyllenhaal's kid sister.
I only saw it one time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't love it.
Okay. I'll find some other notable stuff.
Was that after this?
Before.
I was going to say, I thought that was before. Nothing all that notable, no. She was in a deleted scene in AI, a Spielberg film. I like that movie, I think.
Deleted scene.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. What was the one with Will Smith with the robots? Was it iRobot?
iRobot,
That
yeah.
one I thought was pretty good.
Okay.
AI I did not like. And there she is decomposing.
She grew up looking pretty nice.
Oh yeah, she actually kind of looks like Amber Tamblyn.
Yeah. Daveigh Chase,
we
if
just-
I'm saying that, pronouncing that correctly.
We looked her up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look her up, she actually does look kind of like Amber
Yeah,
Tamblyn.
she's
so.
about 31 now.
Oh my God, really?
1990.
Yeah. Oh, that's unbelievable. We're so old. And now, she's been freed or whatever, so.
Yeah. Which typically seems like...
Hey, there's some cops!
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Where it typically seems like that's the end goal for a lot of, like, ghost movies. Like, you want to
free the soul.
Free the soul in a certain way and get to that end. And obviously they take it in the other direction here. Yeah, I remember Serve Echoes, and that was the entire projection of that story to get the end of the film where Kevin Bacon finds a way to get justice and let the spirit rest. I still love that movie.
It is a great movie.
Hell yeah.
And what's interesting here is we're at, an hour and 35.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's done.
It feels
close
done. To it.
It feels done.
It feels that way.
But wait, there's more.
Because you also haven't resolved Aiden yet.
That's correct.
Right. So you still need that extra beat.
Although, in theory, if this solves their problem, it also solves everyone else's problem.
Even if that was the way you're going, you would still want that final scene to make sure the kid is okay. Because he's been acting weird the entire film.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing. How long could you survive down there?
Oh.
So that brings it around, and all the weird stuff they've kind of been inflicted upon them, the choking, the drowning, and the weird kind of things, those are kind of projections of what she went through down there.
Sure, yeah. Which, again, become way more interesting on the rewatch.
Yes.
It's almost, maybe, okay.
Found this weird, he just passed out on the floor like he had a bender or something. Too much apple juice at the end of the night.
It's almost too many dots to connect.
It's a little much.
And I think that maybe that was one of my other issues. There's so many dots to connect that you get to the end and you don't really remember all of them.
It's a lot to process.
And they're gonna reconcile. And here he looks terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Like, talk about him winning this relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Because she is a 10. And he, in this scene, he's a 6.
Yeah.
601.
601.
That's 6 and 10.
Yeah.
10 and 6 reversed.
Interesting thing. She's going to take a shower. She looks like she was already cleaned and washed and everything like that anyway.
Yeah, she looks dirtier here than she did last scene.
Yeah.
Okay, roll credits, right?
Yeah.
We are taking a long time. Because technically, we are in Act 3 now. Right? It's over. Is it? Right? Her objective was to
put the pieces together and resolve it.
Find out who was the girl, and how did the tape get made, and
save our lives.
Yeah. Right.
But
which she's accomplished all those objectives, right?
Yeah.
So that means Act 2 is over.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that they don't keep it hanging in the air anymore. They don't let it sit there and kind of meander around. We get right to the point here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why did you do that?
Awesome. The Ring? Is that what the...
It's simple enough, I guess.
It's a ring I know far too well. He's got a copy of Shrek down there. Let's see, what else has he got? Give me a close-up again of that TV. Well, here it is.
Yeah.
This is the scene, right?
Yeah.
I think.
The scene that freaked everyone out at the theater.
Yes. In fact, if this is in fact that scene...
Oh, he's got the Craft, Casablanca.
Cat Ballou.
And that was kind of the interesting thing, why he doesn't pick up the phone, because the whole thing is like, after you see the damn tape, the phone starts ringing.
Right.
It's enough of a built-in thing.
So,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to my my dear friend Toril that I was watching the movie with in the cinema 19 years ago, and the poor girl.
Oh, Christ almighty.
We're in the theater. It's dark. It's late. It's scary. And
Nice.
the TV's sweating. You know, you think it's over. And right here,
Fucking Christ.
the girl literally started crying
Oh.
in fear and clutched onto me.
Just everyone. Everyone just freaked the fuck out. I like they keep the kind of
Grainy black and white.
grainy, pulsating...
VHS, yeah.
Yeah, on the Fritz type of thing, yeah. It's
Yeah,
nice,
where's
nice.
Horace Pinker when you need him?
Everything comes back to Shocker. Probably reference Shocker more than most films
Right.
on this commentary series. Now, there you go.
It all comes back to Shocker.
Mm-hmm.
Available now in the archives.
Oh, yeah.
Please go and watch it.
Please.
How's that for a flip phone?
Yeah.
This is, I didn't get my first flip phone until 2003. So this is a little before. I was kind of late to the game. I feel like most of my friends had cell phones at that point.
Yeah. I had just kind of a regular Nokia thing. I didn't have a flip phone until 08.
Well, any cell phone. It was
Yeah.
my very first
Yeah.
cell phone was 03. February 03. So it was early 03, not long after this movie.
And this is nice imagery because it evokes back to when she had the dream sequence.
Right.
Walking into the bedroom. Oh, nice scream.
Good scream. Great scream. Tremendous scream. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Go on up, lady. She's such a good crier.
Oh.
She always has been. What a beautiful lady. He's like, what the hell, Ma?
Oh.
I mean, look at her.
Oh,
How? And these kinds of movies never get consideration for, acting prowess. Copy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that really, I'm thinking out loud here, does that make a lot of sense? Why would making the copy... Oh, she wants to be heard.
She wants to be heard, and you make a copy and you show it to someone else. You pass it on. It's like one of those bad chain letters back in the early email days.
All right, got it.
Oh.
The girl, Samara girl, actually kind of in the face resembles the boy. Like they could be,
tad.
Yeah, like they could be related. Allegedly.
Mm.
They get 7 days.
Yeah.
Great ending.
Yeah. That's a great horror idea. It's like the only way to save yourself is almost to sacrifice someone else.
Right?
Down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, outstanding.
Uh-huh. Well, let's see if they
give any credit.
No.
I feel like they would have done it there.
They should have done it there. We'll give it a few extra moments here, but.
This guy, great job.
Yeah.
Great job.
Fabulous.
Production design also really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Editing really, really good.
Yes. Didn't get to comment on the music much because of our low volume, but it was Hans Zimmer.
Okay.
The fabulous Hans Zimmer.
Bender Spink Inc.
That's not a good name.
No. Yeah, it ages really well.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I feel like there's probably a disconnect for those that didn't grow up in the VHS era.
Yeah.
Like we did. In that they might not, like, they understand the concept of VHS, but they didn't live it, so it's...
Culture, yeah.
Yeah, there's a culture disconnect.
Yeah.
But overall, Brian Cox, amazing as usual. Yeah, great job. Watch Succession on HBO. Sponsor us, HBO. Hans Zimmer, awesome. It really does get better with the more you watch it and the more you can piece the dots together. Rick Baker. Probably responsible. Here we go. Based on the novel.
Thankfully.
And the motion picture The Ring, sure.
They don't credit the actual screenwriter of the film, but at least you got back to the source.
Right. I wish that would have happened earlier in the credits.
That should have happened right after Kruger's credit.
Right, yeah.
That should have happened right there, but...
Bill Johnson, wasn't he one of those Leatherfaces?
There was a Bill Johnson in part 2.
Part 2, yeah. I'm interested to see where people stand on this, because I know that it's kind of polarizing.
And I heard nothing good about the sequels to this one. They did a second one a couple years after this. Then they did Rings.
Right, multiple.
In like 2016, 17. Where it's a bizarre type of thing, because Paramount did Rings, the third film.
Okay.
And because that thing ended up being a terrible film and did poorly at the box office, that's why they scrapped doing another Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, because there was supposed to be a Friday Part 2.
Yeah. Because that would have been in the time, because with the Friday films, Warner Brothers New Line had it. Then there's a thing where Christopher Nolan took his next film to Paramount, but Warner Brothers still wanted to be in on the Nolan cash flow. And so they made a deal where Paramount got the rights to Friday the 13th and a couple other things back for like 4 years to do whatever they want with. But Paramount never got around to it. And because Rings didn't perform well, they figured, oh, we're not going to do this other film.
Well, that's stupid.
Which makes no stupid sense anyway.
Calvin's Shadow is a bad name.
Evapropos.
I'm interested to hear everyone's take on this. So, love the comments. Everyone, thank you for all the years of commenting, and we love the interaction. Please share it around.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you hate it and you think we're stupid, that's fine. You know, all opinions are welcome.
And if you have seen the Japanese version in full, let us know how it compares for you. Which one works better for you?
Horse Wranglers. Those guys need a standing O.
Oh, yeah.
Rusty Hendrickson.
Rusty. That's a good name for a handler.
It's a good name for anything.
You catch any stunt people here yet?
Oh, they were already passed. And
Okay.
Our guy wasn't on it.
None of our guys are on it. No Warlock, no Morga.
No Tony Caesar.
No Caesar.
It's funny how often we mention Tony Caesar, and Dick Warlock has actually been in probably more films that we've covered. Linda K. Brown. Talk about a Southern Belle name. I feel like there's no music happening right now.
Well, I turned it down.
I know you did, but I feel like normally we hear a little bit, but, whatever. It's
a long credit. Long credits.
Yeah, this definitely set off a...
There's some music for you.
Oh.
Turn it down
little
again.
Stinger. It definitely set off a domino effect of the Japanese horror.
Nah, definitely.
Yeah. And, looking at some of the other ones, this one is really, the best.
Mm.
I do have a very soft spot in my heart.
2 minutes of credits.
How is that possible? I have a very soft spot in my heart for Battle Royale, which I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No.
It's a wonderful kind of like Hunger Games / The Condemned type thing. A bunch of kids get sent to the island, and it only ends until there's one left.
Yeah. Martin Henderson, the guy who plays the ex-husband.
Yes.
Oh, he was in that terrible Strangers sequel.
Oh.
That you blocked out of your memory.
I don't even remember it. It's like bad trauma. I pretend it doesn't exist.
Like he was in something, and I was like, oh shit! Before we run out of time.
Oh, we got time.
He was no McConaughey.
No.
Not picking that movie.
Are you kidding me?
Fuck all no.
Damn it. But
Garrett Pendergraft. Lots of visual effects on this thing.
A lot.
Hard.
Yep, Rick Baker's crew here.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe it's been 5 years that we've been doing this. Mm-hmm. So happy 5th anniversary, my friend. Mm-hmm. maybe folks, if they've made it this far and they're actually listening,
Bishop's taxidermy.
Maybe they can drop some comments or recommendations of what they'd like to see us cover over the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Because, we've run out of the tent poles.
Yeah.
And now we're
edging towards Hellraiser at some point. It's on the list.
Well,
it'll be a short run. We ain't doing no freaking like 11 films or nothing.
No. Well, 1 or 2. We're edging up towards Christmas, so that always leads to something fun. As you know, we're wont to do.
We got something for you.
Can't wait.
Oh, yes.
So, all right, well, come on, DreamWorks, let's move this party along. Our folks want to go to bed.
Let's get it going, SKG.
Here's a poll for you. Which one of those 3 is actually the...
Oh, come on.
I know, it's Spielberg. The King Jew. Anyway. So, all right, well...
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
This
has been fun. Oh, shit. We got the menu.
TV again.
I'm blinded.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.